Hello everyone. Today we're going to be working on a 2009 Honda Fit. A friend was complaining about some loud clunking in the front end of the vehicle, and when we took a look at the bushings and ball joints, we found that they were broken or torn. This led us to go ahead with a full front suspension overhaul. This was inclusive of front and rear struts, control arms with the press fitted bushings pre-installed, strut mounts, tie rod ends, and sway bar end links. The most specialized tools for this job were probably a ball joint removal tool, pass-through wrench, Strut spring compressor. I think that's it. If you're doing the shopping for this, I've got a few links below that are affiliate links I may make a commission on. I've used all of these when working on the suspension of any car. If you're expecting to do more suspension work, I'd recommend scooping something up, but you can also rent these tools for free at your local auto parts store. I'd also recommend buying the front struts as entire assemblies, with new springs included, just due to the fact that the price was pretty negligible for a refresh. I didn't do that and ended up having to spend a lot more time on the front struts than I wanted to. As far as jack points, I used a subframe to lift the car and then slid the jacks under the pinch welds of the car. Before you get started, I'd recommend getting some sort of penetrating oil and spraying it on some of the bigger bolts. The sway bar end links are coming out first, so that's the two bolts up top and bottom. This is also the first time we'll be using the pass-through wrench. If you've ever wanted to get a job done on your car, this one's pretty straightforward since you have the option to buy full assemblies. Remember to remind your significant other as well that you will have saved about $300 to $400 on a job and should use that money to improve your trade. The strut carrier bolts are up next and should be supported before removing both bolts. I'd also recommend leaving one bolt in to prevent it from dropping down. You don't want the half shaft here to pop out, otherwise you're going to have a hard time getting it back on. This happened to us on the driver's side and took some finagling to get reseated. Now, if you don't use the ball joint separator tool much, I'd recommend making sure you've hit the ball joint with some sort of penetrating oil, and ensure the tool is seated well in the ball joint bolt end. And if you're worried about the ball joint flying off, leave the nut on to prevent that. Lastly, you'll want to use a hammer on the control arm to allow the ball joint separator to finish the job. In my case, I wasn't worried about recovering the old ball joint since it's getting replaced anyways, so I tore the boot down to make space for the tool. Now remember the tip about making sure that tool is seated well in the ball joint end. Here you'll see me pulling that tool closer to the nut, as otherwise it would end up slipping off for that reason. You don't want this happening, as it applies uneven pressure to the tool and could cause something to break. You're going to want to support the wheel carrier now to prevent the half shaft from popping out, since we'll be removing the carrier bolt and the strut mount bolt to allow the strut assembly to come out. I didn't really document how to remove the cowl trim, but you will need to remove the windshield wipers to get it off. In my case, I didn't need to remove the motor on the driver's side, as I cheated a bit with a shallow Allen key and no precise torque specs on the nuts themselves. If you made it this far, I just want to say thanks for watching. If this video or any of the other repair videos you've watched from my channel has been helpful, please do leave a like and subscribe. On both sides, you'll need to lock the bolt with an Allen key while you twist the nut off. This is where a shallow Allen key set might be super helpful. Now remember, when you're attempting to remove the strut, you do want to support the wheel carrier in some way to prevent that half shaft from coming out. Now this is where, if you did buy the full strut assembly, you probably won't need to do this step. In my case, I only bought the strut, which didn't even include the bump stop. I had to fabricate one for myself from a universal kit. But if you did buy the full assembly, you can just pop that right back in there and skip this step. Now, if you're tired from working on the fronts, worry not. The rear should be a lot easier. There's only one bolt and one nut holding this in. Again, the pass-through wrench making a feature here while we remove the nut from the top of the rear strut. You're going to want to drop an Allen key into the middle of the stud and crank on the nut with the pass-through wrench.